that S&P 500 will go up next year?
I think you have a better chance betting on a Manchester United versus Chelsea game than you have on CFD trading.
This is playing it fine. It's a double-edged sword. It can also cut you. At the end of every year, there'd be a bonus.
So tell us more. Tell us more about your love life.
He was very go-go, matlab, ye bhi kharid lo, wo bhi kharid lo. That kind of life never satisfies you, because you buy something, then there's always something else left to buy. And then there's something bigger. And, it's just harassment that, buy this, buy that, buy this, trade more, do more of these CFDs. You got to understand the risk of CFDs, that if it can give you the benefits of leverage, it's a double-edged sword. It can also cut you. When the market corrects or it falls, you're going in with 10 times leverage, no?
10 times leverage means that you're wiped out if the market falls by just 10%.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You're gone. And actually, because of the margins and all that, you're probably wiped out, or they will just close it when you're down 8% or 7%.
I've been through that phase, margin call and all that. The only good thing was that at the end of every year, there'd be a bonus, and the salary was also more than I could handle. So it was like the best of both worlds. Not that even if you get wiped out, you'll still get a bonus. Or you'll still, you can use your salary, say, to handle the margin calls. But
Saurabh, were you able to do both the things? Like you have such a high pressure job, right? And then you're doing CFD trading on the side. How was it? And like you have a girlfriend who's saying ki aur trade kar, aur paise kama, aur cheezein khareed.
Until the girlfriend came on the stage, it was perfect. Yeah, I could do it with 100% focus. The only bad habit I picked up then was smoking because of the stress of this 10 times leverage. Once the girlfriend enters the picture and then she starts nagging and, just generally making your life hell. Ki, get me this, get me that, buy me a house, buy me this. Then your focus goes away from, if you're going in with 10 times leverage, you better be 100% focused. Nothing in your life other than work.
You can't stay away from the screen at that time because there'll be market ups and downs. Maybe it is a bit easier because you can put in some algorithms, and even apps give you that where you can cut your, you can put stop losses and all that as it is. But I suspect 15 years ago or 18 years ago, it must be more manual.
Yeah, and there'd be days when it'd be up 6 figures, there'd be days you'd be down 6 figures. So it's just, it gets crazy. But if ever in life you feel that you want to make a quick buck out of something, and if you feel you're going to catch a train, go in with 10x leverage. Don't be worried about it. Just focus, catch the train. Within 1 year, you'll be surprised what you ended up with. Like literally surprised,
And sort of one question here, so in general, what I've heard is some of the financial institutions are quite strict about trading on personal account when you are also trading on the institutional side. So is that something which you were permitted to do?
You have to pre-clear. They had a rule called pre-clearance. You take the pre-clearance, then you can trade.
Right.
Which is fine. You go to the compliance department, you say I want to do it on my own account, you take the pre-clearance. That's not a problem. People were doing. Not that many people would do it with leverage because leverage is very scary.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing with leverage is you can pyramid. That as your gains keep accruing, you can leverage those gains also.
Wow. What?
You can re-leverage the gains. Just like if it goes against you, there are margin calls. If it goes in your favor, your gains are coming. So your investable capital is going up by the gains. You can take 10 times leverage on your gains. That's called pyramiding.
Basic leverage explanation for some people is, so the way 10 times leverage works, as Saurabh is explaining, is if your asset or whatever, whether it's a stock or a currency or something, if it's worth, let's say 100, and you are putting up only 10, whether it's rupees, dollars, pounds, you're putting in 10 to buy that underlying asset of 100, and they're giving it to you. But the moment that reaches 110, if you encash all of it, you get 20 because you get a gain of 10 from your 100 and you get 20 back. But the other way around, like he mentions, it's dynamite. It means if it goes to 90, then you get 0. You're all wiped out. This is with a 10x leverage.
Yes.
If you went to a higher leverage, 20x, then it's 95 to 105 gain, where it's 0 times, 0x, or double your money.
Like if I am confident that S&P 500 will go up next year, how do I leverage 10 times on S&P 500?
I will give you the first answer. If you're a non-finance guy who doesn't know this, I will truly, from the bottom of my heart, recommend don't bother. Don't bother. 90% of the time, you will lose all the capital that you put in. If you want to do it at some point and you want to start, then it's just you're putting in the money where you're saying, I'm putting in 100. If it goes up by 10, that's fine. If it goes up by anything, that's fine, as long as. But the moment my 10 goes off, then the trade is closed. So the bank or whoever is lending behind you, and you don't know who's actually lending in the financial web, but whoever is lending behind you, they've given you a stock or an asset of worth 100, but you only put in 10. The moment your 10 gets wiped out, which means technically if the asset goes down to 90, you're gone. You're completely off the table. They will sell it back. And so they're not losing. You have lost your entire money, not just, and the stock, if you were to buy it with 100, you would have lost 10% of your money. Add one last thing is, I think you have a better chance betting on a Manchester United versus Chelsea game than you have on CFD trading, unless you are tracking the asset morning to evening every day.
Yeah. And it also helps if you have access. Now, if you're working in an institutional investment setup, you'll have access to the management. You'll have access to investor relations. You can pick up the phone. You can't pick up the phone and call the CFO anytime, but you can definitely pick up the phone and call the IR guy anytime with your queries. Yes. That access reduces the risk a lot. But for the layman who's going in without access, he's playing it fine. Definitely.
That's true.